mean, it's just us in the studio. The lights are barely on. We like it that way. Good morning and welcome to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. We are Open Mic Unplugged.
Is that what we're calling it now?
That's what we're calling it now.
That's the new title for the new year.
That's what happens when you have, your production team is on hiatus. Thank you to Patriot TV and all that you do. We hope you're enjoying your time off. But yeah, it's just Allie and I in the studio running the show today. So how was your new year? I haven't seen you since the new year.
It was good. It was good. We hope that all of you had a wonderful new year. Did you eat the 12 grapes? I just want to know. It's been a fad. Everyone's eating grapes under tables.
Is that why she was eating grapes?
I don't know. What I want to know. Did you eat the grapes? I'll probably eat some later. I didn't eat them on New Year's.
Interesting. What was the 12 grapes about?
It's just a tradition. It's just in Spanish tradition. The grapes, every grape signifies like a wish that you want for the new year. So 12 grapes for 12 months. And it's like you make a wish and you pop the grape.
I did not know that. No,
yeah.
I did not do that.
Yeah, they're so fun.
Well,
don't choke. And they're like, oh, you gotta eat the grapes. It's in the last 12 seconds. They're like, you can't eat all of that all at once. You look like a chipmunk. Have you seen kids try to do it? It's hilarious.
Choking hazard. We do not recommend.
Don't do that.
Allie, it's cold here in Florida, and in the last 2 days,
Yeah,
New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, it was tough. I had already made plans to kind of
dropping
be outside.
iguanas. They were like 3, 2,
1. Speaking of, did you see? And I know no. Did you? We're in rare form today, ladies and gentlemen.
Less acid today.
Did you see any of the New Year's Eve countdown stuff?
Yeah, they were all off.
Mm-hmm. It was rough.
So we had it on the TV and I had it on my phone because they were playing all these commercials and we're like, can you just get to the countdown already? So on my phone on YouTube, it was faster than what it was on the TV. And then
there's a delay,
we're looking at the time and then I was like, oh wait, guys, it's midnight. But they were still counting down and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Well, what I noticed is that the viewership, from everything I'm reading, the viewership of the New York City countdown and the show that they produced there failed in comparison to what Nashville did. Nashville had their own, where they now the Nashville broadcast, I think it was CBS that did it. They went to Times Square for the Eastern time because obviously Nashville's in Central. But and as soon as they did, it was like, you see people kissing. Well, like couples aren't. They're all different now. So there was all different. And then it was like cut right away back to country music because it was kind of like this red, white, and blue America thing. They had everybody from Jelly Roll
America 250, y'all, of course.
So then you had the
DC
Washington
was
Monument.
Amazing. I mean, I wish I was there.
Well, guys, we are going to keep the mic open. Thank you for joining us for our Open Mic Unplugged edition. We wanted to come to you even though our production team's off. So let's go ahead and open that mic.
Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. Taking back our freedom, back to where we started. We're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, he gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor of Maggie,ville, the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' bring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
I'm so we're multitasking. That was Facebook. Welcome. Okay, guys. So we're going to get right into it. First things first, they did celebrate New Year's at Mar-a-Lago, which I thought was interesting. The administration did not stay in Washington, D.C. They had a
lot of them don't want to live. No. Why?
They don't want to.
Why?
I mean, it's interesting.
I mean, I do think DC is beautiful. And having the Washington Monument light up the way it did. I think that was pretty cool. But when you're invited by the president to go to his house for New Year's Eve, party, I mean, do you really say no? Why would you say no?
Why would you say no? Why would you do that? Well, I'm going to share my screen here if I can figure this out, because it feels like a Monday to me, even though it's Friday. Thank the Lord. So here
is it really Friday? It is the Mondayest Friday I've ever had.
Now, Ali, the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu he was a guest of honor of President Trump. There's President and First Lady who wore the most amazing silver gown. Let's take a look. She's so cute. She's so cute. I like it. I think they're a good looking couple. He's still taller than her, and that's saying something because she's very, very tall. Very, very tall.
And then she wears like 6-inch heels. So did you see Byron? Not Byron. Byron. Lord.
Baron is taller than both of them.
Huge.
What are they feeding that boy?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Well, we also saw that they
hopefully Maha approved foods.
Well, in Mar-a-Lago, they had a classic that was playing. I mean, this is a classic. I don't think it wasn't Vanilla Ice himself, was it?
I'm sure it was. He lives in Palm Beach.
Does he really?
Yes,
Would he be
does.
magnified?
I don't see why not.
Okay. New fan. All right. But this is Stephen Miller, and you'll recognize also Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary. I mean,
of course they went to them too. I mean, yes, they're trying to deport more and more people, and sending ICE out to all of the areas to get rid of especially the Somalians. Because why?
Well, and that's if you've seen, and maybe some of you have seen too on social media, all the memes about open mic. We did one about I got to show up to work today, but only because I didn't open a daycare in Minnesota.
So Rapid Response 47 on X.
We're gonna show.
Oh my God! I said,
should we go to it now?
You can.
I was gonna save it till later, but now that she brought it up, I think we should.
Oh my God! I was like, so we're starting off the new year like this?
All right, guys.
This is what we're doing.
Now,
okay.
Here's the important part about playing this. You don't hate the messenger. All right, but this was made
by a TikToker. I don't know who it is, but they're a genius.
All right, take
Ready?
a look.
It's like Pixar.
Put your coffee down. You don't want to spit it out.
We don't need to be pirates anymore. I found a better way. Government-funded daycare. Huh? We must go to Minnesota. To Minnesota!
In a world where some rules need to be bent.
Did we spell something wrong?
Who cares? As long as they spell our names right on those $1 million checks.
Comes the story of triumph.
Remember when we had to illegally steal from innocent people like thugs? But now we're stealing from innocent taxpayers. Just like the government intended. Look at me. I'm the millionaire.
Patriot Family.
What does that say? The unreport? Okay, follow the unreport. That was,
Patriot Family.
Yes.
We starting out America 250 like this. We starting out 2026 like this. Okay, gloves are off, y'all. That was just I saw that last night. And I said I'm gonna put my phone away.
Well, you're
crazy.
Okay, you're gonna love this.
So
then,
creative.
because as they're partying it up in Mar-a-Lago, our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, was having some fun.
I love it.
Look at this.
Oh. Hey! Mr. 305. I love it. I mean, you cannot be Latina or Latino and not love Pitbull.
Well, and listen, there's a very good country line dance that goes to that. And that some people don't like that you do country line dancing to songs that aren't
That's
country.
because they don't know how to keep up. Some things, I mean, you can keep your traditions, but at some point, things need to change. It's like those that complain about using orchestras playing hip hop, like when you see in Shondaland, my favorite land.
I feel like we live in
Bridgerton. So in Bridgerton, they play like hip hop, but
Yeah.
it's like without the words, it's instrumental. It's more like classical.
Right.
And people are like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, well, it's different.
Hey,
Like, why would you not? It's just different.
speaking of, Bridgerton has a new season coming out.
I'm aware.
When does it hit?
January sometime, and you're not gonna see me. I might do reviews. I might do reviews. I really do. I might go live and do some reviews.
Allie, I think that's good.
Because I just can't help myself. I'm obsessed. I'm a romantic. I can't help it.
Well, and it's definitely Bridgerton. And I don't know how we went from
I literally read almost
Secretary of
every
State to
Jane.
Bridgerton?
I literally read
Jane Austen.
almost every
Well,
book of Jane Austen.
If you haven't seen Bridgerton, you know, I know that there are people that
Shakespeare's
don't
one of
like
my
it, but it is a romanticized version of sort of, I don't know.
It's
It was
amazing.
written by a woman, and so if you have a
Shondaland.
woman in your life, you might tune in just to see like what get in their head. Like
I need more scandal. That's what I need.
Is there a new season of that?
Uh-uh.
All right, take a look at this. I hate to. We're trying to soften the blow here, but
Are you sure?
No, I don't know.
No.
Maybe we're not.
I don't know.
Happy New Year, Kenneth. Thank you so much for chiming in, which reminds me, guys, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, invite your friends, but also comment. We'd love to hear where you're watching us from, what you did for New Year's. And if you have any predictions going into 2026, if you had a 2026 bingo card, what would be on there? Just saying.
I definitely didn't see a Pixar-inspired
Somalian daycare crime ring.
Yeah, I didn't
see
see that. I didn't see that coming.
And it was done.
That was amazing.
Really well. Well, listen, New York is not. They're not. Well, some are celebrating in New York. We are not. Any trip that I wanted to see something on Broadway or Times Square ain't happening now because Mandami is officially sworn into office. Yeah, that's Bernie Sanders. I think that's the same jacket that he wore when they had that meme when he was sitting. Spring for a new coat. But he was sworn in. See his hand on that? That is not.
That's the Quran.
That is the Quran. And, you know, many people, including Benny Johnson and others, have said, are we allowed? Can you take Webster's dictionary and put your hand on it now to be sworn into office? I don't know. I don't know what you all think of this. Let us know. But we're going to take a listen to him take the oath. Let's see if he'll uphold it.
I, Zahran Kwame Mamdani, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and the Charter of the City of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the Mayor of the City of New York, according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
All right, there you have it.
How can you hold two oaths at the same time that are antithetical to one another?
Explain, because I know most of you know.
In the Quran, it does not support our Constitution, our constitutional values. They don't support that at all. So how are you swearing on a book that doesn't support what your mouth is saying your oath is?
Well, there's definitely a dichotomy here, guys, because the Quran is based upon, and we'll let him tell you himself what his vision looks like for New York City. But it directly contradicts the idea that we have individual liberties, and our liberties come from our creator. That's what our founding documents say. The government doesn't give us our rights. They're endowed naturally by our creator. That contradicts. Look at how the Muslim world that does abide strictly by the Quran, look at how their women dress. Does it look like they have rights given to them from God, or are their rights stripped at the hands of man and they excuse it because of God? And that is a dichotomy that's happening right now in New York City. And it's like the most screwed up experiment in the history of the world. We literally have other examples. Look at North and South Korea. Look at what happened when the Berlin Wall came down. Which side came running to the other side? They weren't flooding into the communist side. You know, I just.
And it's a book of war. It's a book of killing anyone that doesn't. It tells its followers to kill anyone that does not agree with or align with or participate in the Quran. And he literally said, quote unquote, we'll replace rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism.
And that's what
That's not the Constitution. So you've already violated it in your words as you've sworn to protect and uphold it. So what I don't understand.
I want you to take a listen to his own words. And Allie, think that's a great segue. Take a listen.
How long these communities have existed as distinct from one another. We will draw this city closer together. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. If our campaign demonstrated that the people of New York yearn for solidarity, then let this government foster it. Because no matter what you eat, how you pray, or where you come from, the words that most define us are the two we all share: New Yorkers.
That is the most Barack Obama.
I mean, literally
written
sounds
speech
like him. Can you not
and
hear
AOC
the inflection?
And did you hear AOC? Did you see AOC back there? I'm telling you guys, don't think for a second that this Mondami regime stepping in New York City can't be but a heartbeat away from the White House under somebody like AOC or somebody else. And that is exactly, listen, I remember sweet little Barack Obama becoming a senator in Illinois. And they were like, oh, I know his ties to Weather Underground. I know his ties to extreme radical people in the south side of Chicago. Ask some people. We know all of that. But you know what? It's just a senator. I think 4 years before Rod Blagojevich allegedly sold out his seat so he could run for office. It was an instantaneous plug. And I'm telling you, I see the remnants of it right there in Mondami. But there was a crowd there that, I mean, maybe paid, I don't know, but that's there to say, we want to see this happen. This is what's wrong, you guys, with when you don't effectively know history, whether it's because of the demise of the public school system or because you have your head buried in sand somewhere. When you don't know what's taken place throughout history, we'll get into that a little bit in the show. You really don't know what you don't know. Think about it. If you're somebody who's 19, 20, 21, 22, and you have somebody saying, we're going to unify, we're going to all come together, we're all going to be one.
Sounds nice.
Leave your individualism at the door. All together. I'm going to provide for you as you continue to reach for your neighbor. Okay, cool. So
that's
what? Like,
literally how communism takes over countries.
Literally takes over countries. But Allie, it gets even stranger as you think about how they celebrated. So I still don't know. Nobody's been able to tell me what the lyrics of this song are.
Oh, we gotta throw it in the chat.
AI,
where's AI at?
So this is his inauguration, Mondami's. Lyrics are not in English, and there's a lot of I guess,
who knows?
Different.
Just play it.
Girl. I don't know. I'd love to give some kind of commentary, but I don't know. I don't know what that was that I was just watching.
So they're taking, I guess he's taking what Kamala Harris did, and bringing some folks. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know.
Are we at a loss for words?
I don't know. I'm usually not speechless, and I'm not.
Well,
art is art. Sure. If we criticize it, honestly, it's like we're being hypocritical, to be honest with you, because it's the same thing that we do on the right. It's the same thing that is done on the left when you bring in people to give a performance for specific things. I mean, it happens all the time.
So you don't think that as people that live in New York City, not all of you were out there supporting Mondami.
No.
He didn't win in a landslide. Mm-mm. So the people of New York City, you don't have a right to know what type of artist this is and what he's saying in a different language as you chant along, or can't even chant along, as you clap along.
You don't know what it is.
I mean, you have to be very careful about what words are being spoken, and you have a right, you have a freedom of speech. I mean, great beat up there on stage, but to not know he was sworn an oath in English. Why? Because you have to know what's being said and what's being spoken. So when I see that, it's different than somebody like Pitbull going on stage and singing something in Spanish that I know we can get enough of the meaning of the song. I don't know what language that was spoken. And I'm just asking, somebody in that administration should be able to provide the American people with some kind of lyrics so we can know, maybe I want to enjoy the song.
Or at least the name of it and who the artist was. I don't know, so we could all do a deep dive and figure it out. I get your point.
I don't know.
It's
frustrating, but we do believe in free and fair elections. And if that's what you're saying happened in New York, you about to find out. Okay. But New York, this is, Allie, this is a new organization I'm not terribly familiar with, RARE.
It's run by Amy Meg.
Yes. And that's exactly who we're going to share right now.
And essentially what she's doing, because we've covered this before on the show, she is, and we've covered it on CCN, she created this organization to really expose CAIR, CAIR, and the Muslim Islamic radicalism that it supports. So,
and I want you to know, I found this really informative. So I want to make sure that you guys see this too. RARE, Rise, Align, Ignite, Reclaim. It's a grassroots activist and investigative journalistic organization made up of everyday Americans. So again, Rise, Align, Ignite, Reclaim. Guys, you can help support them there. But I want you to take a look at this video. This, and some people in the comments are saying, is this an older video? And then she comes in and says, no, this was new. This is in cooperation with the NYPD. I just want you to take a look at what they're instructing people in the community now.
So I'm going to give a little example. So ideally, there's different ways, by the way. You can fit it how you want to, but you could make one side short, one side long, right? And then you put it over and over around your face. And some ladies get creative. You can put a pin. I freestyle everything I do, as you can see. And then I just tuck it in right here. And you wrap it around to your quarters. Make sure your bosom is covered.
Okay, I have to stop it there. Make sure your bosom's covered. So here's the thing, and I've known many people who, again, I went to college in Chicago. I know a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, whatever. That's your expression. Amen. You have the ability to do that. But why is and if we continued with the video, you'll see they let people from the audience come up, and she helps show them. It's like showing you how to put on your N95 mask and wear it properly, or your little daisy covered mask, or like, here, sit down, sit in the chair. I'm going to inject this needle into your arm, and let's just broadcast it for everybody so they can see how brave you are. It's got the same fingerprints, and again,
it definitely does have the same feel. If you're getting this like weird, like uneasy feeling settling in your stomach or like in your chest, yep, that's a warning.
Like, oh, hell no. Well, and then you have to ask, Allie, is this, we'll ask our viewers, do you think it's a coincidence then? Let me go ahead and share my screen on this. Ooh. Oh, production Michelle is
You're doing a great job, girl. Great job. Doing a great job.
Makes you wonder, when you sent me this and I saw that video, I was like, wait a minute. Now they're finding these boxes full of NYPD uniforms. They're being discovered, potentially abandoned.
Tell me what this reminds you of. Just in boxes, randomly tossed around the city, hundreds of uniforms. What does that remind you of? Like maybe bricks popping up out of nowhere?
Well, and I think part of what they're alluding to, or at least what I thought when I saw that, is, we've heard Governor DeSantis say here in Florida, if you're interested, if you're an NYPD officer and your heart is to serve the blue and the people around you in your community, and you don't want to serve, maybe you're somebody of Jewish faith and you feel somehow that this Mandami being in office is somehow a threat to you, whatever that is, or you don't believe in his soft on crime policies, because that's not going to work out well for you. If you wanted to come to Florida, he offered like a sign-on bonus.
That could be a possibility, that it's discarded uniforms from actual officers,
Or
it could be something a little bit more nefarious. And
Okay.
it could have been a plan that has been disrupted
Allie.
because they found uniforms that were essentially, possibly, allegedly, could have been used by paid actors to
Allie.
create some kind of catastrophe.
we were given in
I know.
October, we were given a heads up
I know.
that to watch out for major events that take place, and then people run towards first responders, hospitals, police stations, people on site that look like they are in uniform, and that's when the second hit will happen. And this was an intelligence briefing that we were brought into just a portion of it. That I did not think that when I saw
I
that
did.
until you said that. I'm like, why would we need costumes around the city? Democrat Tifa, they don't ever change costumes.
Facts, 100%. I mean, don't they? They always change costume. And then I don't look. Keep your head on a swivel, y'all.
Don't live in fear, but man, keep
Buy
that
more
head
bullets.
on the
That's
swivel.
just.
Well, Allie, that's. And so I have a good friend who has.
Do y'all agree with me? Do y'all think that could have been possibly what that is?
I have a friend that has children. His children, adult children, are in Tampa, and I know you live out that way too, but like downtown. And when they came out with that video, it was like it was like a video plugging the fact that Tampa is very Islamified, and come to this area and it was like a recruitment video. And he phoned me and he was like, I got my adult kids love the nightlife there, and they love the waterfront, and Tampa's so rich in a lot of things, and the Bucks, whatever. And he's like, I gotta get them out of there. And it makes me think of everybody who lives in or around a big city, Chicago, Los Angeles, Portland, just we don't live in fear.
No, but preparedness is important. When you
is.
have piss poor planning, you end up with piss poor leadership.
And you have piss poor leadership, you end up with piss poor planning.
That too.
That's why every major city has a Democrat elected representative.
Why'd you whisper that? Just say it out loud.
A Democrat elected. What did I say?
No, seriously though, it's crazy. It's very weird. It's concerning.
I can't get this next one to open, and I want so badly, because who here remembers the song I Want My MTV?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Okay, I'm going to let you in on a little too much personal information right now. Former boy band fan, and I'm talking about, so, New Edition was fine, but I'm talking about, New Kids on the Block. So what would I do as an 80s and 90s child? I would sit there and wait for the
MTV.
next. Yeah, I wanted the next music video. Well, music MTV has officially shut down its 24-hour music channels. Yesterday, they ended their final broadcast with Video Killed the Radio Star.
Oh, wow.
The first video broadcast on MTV was back in 1981. Where were you guys in 1981, right?
It makes me sad.
It makes me sad, but I'm also thinking that their headquarters is in New York, and
a lot of people are moving out.
They are,
which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I think you should fight for your state and your city.
Stay and fight. Minnesota. I remember when I was running for office a couple of years ago, Allie, I ran into a couple and they were wanting to get registered to vote here because they were thinking of moving, and the husband was like, no, we're staying in Minnesota and we're fighting for Minnesota. And I was like, yeah, I know, Kenneth, no more MTV. I think with YouTube and with everything being right at your fingertips, how do they compete? And then they moved from music television to like reality shows,
which was terrible.
It was never the same. So
it was terrible. Do you guys remember some of those reality shows?
I remember Downtown Julie Brown.
Okay. I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Kennedy, the girl that's on Fox News now, she's extremely conservative. She got her start there.
Yeah, at MTV. Okay.
The girl with the glasses.
Yeah, I know, Kenneth, right? No more MTV. But when was the last time you turned on MTV to watch it? Like, I mean, with all the ratchetness in music nowadays, like, do you really want to see those music videos? I don't think so. I'm good. That's why I don't watch it. So while I'm sad, I'm kind of not at the same time. Like, goodbye. we'll find something else to put on.
Well, and I think it's largely just as Flynn has said before, and we've said it's the death of legacy media and really the way people normally get their news and their entertainment. I mean, now you look at your smart TV, Allie. Yeah. You've got all these apps downloaded. You can decide with the click of a button for $5, $7, $9 a month what you want to watch. I think.
Yeah, and then we ended up paying more money for all these individual apps that we just keep adding on.
I feel called out right now because
instead of buying cable, right? Or at least one hub that has all of the apps you could ever find.
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her.
You got to buy individual apps that don't have all the shows.
But hear me out though.
You end up spending twice as much money.
I go through
I
go through my account the other day and I'm like, how much am I spending? And then I realized because I got on the phone with YouTube TV and I'm like, why am I being charged? They're like, ma'am, you wanted the NFL package. And I was like, oh yeah.
See? So, and yeah, I'm saying you got Hulu and then you got Disney and then you got Hulu Live and then you got YouTube TV and then you got ESPN and then you got
Prime,
Peacock and you got like all the things, Paramount.
But you got to keep Peacock because that's where you get
Apple
Yellowstone.
TV. And they all have different shows, like different ones that are, that you might be interested in. And then some that you're not, but there's like this one show that's on this one app that they don't play it on the other app. And you're like, it's so annoying.
Allie, I know what we're going to see.
Can we just bring back Netflix?
I know what we're going to see.
Like the video one?
Ma'am, what? We're going to get like an open mic app.
Oh my God.
And it's going to be all like unfiltered entertainment.
You know what that sounds like? More work.
You know what it sounds like?
And if it
know what it sounds like? If more money.
Oh, from who?
Shut up.
from my Cash App is on my profile. If you want to buy me a coffee, I'd appreciate it. Like, goodness
listen,
gracious.
we embody the epitome of public servant. Okay, we store riches in heaven.
Okay.
Riches in heaven. I don't listen. No, I'm not going to put that out there in the ethos. But money's not everything. Who said that? More money, more problems.
Look, nope.
I mean, I'd like to at least try.
No.
Let's test that theory.
No, we're not.
No, because the Lord calls us. He was made poor so we can be made rich.
I'm not testing that theory.
Oh my gosh. Did you guys catch on Wednesday, General Michael Flynn?
Totally thought it was Monday.
It just feels like Monday.
It does. It's the Mondayest Friday ever.
And
no one's paying attention because they're all off work. Unlike some of us.
Like, how do you talk about politics even on an off day? No, it's every day. We told you that General Michael Flynn was going to address the public with what he wanted to say was an emergency message. We're going to condense it for you for those of you who couldn't tune in online. Basically, he's calling for a task force. He's saying, Mr. President, much like you did for Doge, can you build a special task force? You know what this reminds me of? What Ivan Raiklin said right here on our show. That's when he broke it. He said, he was speaking then to JD Vance, but a task force that's focused on only identifying and holding accountable those within the government that have really, tried to subvert the will of the nation. Take a listen to him here. Let's get him.
Needs to form a task force. And in that task force, and give them a timetable, and I mean a time crunch to have to operate within, and to take the biggest targets, the biggest actions that have occurred.
And by the way, he took your advice that you gave him at Mar-a-Lago in the last 4 years, and right when he was reelected, and he's giving you awards and thank you there, he put in Ed Martin and others, and then Todd Blanche came in and blocked it. So he's already done what you said, but I agree. We have to have not just a task force of the DOJ. We have to have like an hour a day. More important than foreign policy, anything, because if you don't take out the deep state, we're done. It's got to be central war room, focused clarity, and that's why they're targeting you for destruction because they know.
And I think that task force, Alex, should be made up of a bunch of private entrepreneurs who really know what they're talking about and know what they're doing and know how to run organizations and know how to.
I think Trump should bring Musk in, and he's already partially apologized and brought him back. I mean, I think Musk should be involved in that task force.
Absolutely. Now, whether or not Musk runs it, I don't know, but Trump needs to have a group of private entrepreneurs.
You need to run it. Who
come in and organize. And in the military, we would say we need to task organize for combat because we are in combat. We are in a war. So part of that task force, though, needs to have a DOJ element with prosecutorial powers, right, and authorities, so they can bring indictments. Maybe off of that task force, there is a grand jury that is sequestered, and you don't have to have the task force in Washington D.C. You can have it in Florida, you can have it wherever the hell you want to have it, but you got to have this, and it's got to be a bunch of smart people that care deeply and have proven deeply about that they care about.
So you go that they care about actually seeing there being accountability. You know what this reminds me of, Allie? It reminds me of like military tribunals. And I think, so we know what that looks like if we're in wartime and we're in another country and things go awry and we don't like how things have worked out, or people are acting outside the will of what their military orders were. But what happens when you try to subvert the will of the people, either through an election, through almost like a bioengineered war, when you think about what took place with COVID, what we now know about that, through poisoning food, through what they're doing in our skies, when you think about all this, at what point are you and I as Americans actually at war within our own deep state that is not elected to by us, but they're out there doing their own will, not the will of the people? Is that kind of what he's maybe describing there? A little bit more of a military tribunal?
I mean, it could be, but it actually is just, it's another organization within our government that in essence will be more effective than the current DOJ. Essentially, I think what General Flynn is saying is that it's not working and we need to find another way of making it work, because apparently nothing is getting done at the pace that it should be done, in his opinion. And this is the answer to that, because there's too many people that are at the administrative level that are too intertwined, that have not been removed. They're holdovers from the last several administrations that simply want to subvert process and progress. And the America First agenda.
So what do you say to people that, because this is part of the argument we had going into 2024, is that the bureaucratic state is largely not something that was secured in our Constitution. So piling on more bureaucratic administrative levels is not, I don't think, America First. I don't think that's what the people largely voted for. I think how we structure this could be interesting. Doge was one of those things where people were saying, the other side was saying, listen, this is not constitutional. It's like, but the executive, the head of the executive branch does have the authority to create these.
You know what's not constitutional? The IRS.
Taking your tax dollars and sending it to the Taliban doesn't sound.
Or Somalia.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's got to be a way to do it where it's almost not voluntary basis, but it can't be a huge expansion of unelected government. I don't think people are going to want to see that. But would I pay money to see General Michael Flynn run something like that just says, hey, here's all the facts, and be very transparent about it? Like, do what Doge did. Put that online and let people go in and just on a Monday morning go in and see where's the indictments, where's the charges, what did he do? I mean, you and I are smart enough, we can go through that stuff. That's what I think I'd like to see.
I would love to see that. And I think that would be the kind of organization that General Flynn is talking about, this kind of task force he's expressing. And to everybody out there, we still have the Doge Act that has not been passed. That could be a codified, it codifies Doge as a permanent organization, and the only thing they're supposed to do is to root out waste, fraud, and abuse. Why do you not want that to be something that's permanent? It is essentially an auditing arm of the United States and its government agencies, which the Oversight Committee doesn't do.
Yeah.
And it's preemptive. It's not reactive. And so I think codifying that is important. I think this task force is a good answer to, the massive amount of work the DOJ has to do. And can the DOJ be effective with who they currently have working there? We're not talking about the top level. Obviously, we see some issues with that, but I'm also talking about the administrative level, those that have been hired to work there for 20, 30 years.
Well, Allie, Scott Pressler said it best on social media. You can see this here. He said the Republican Party, you now have basically two options. nuke the filibuster and pass law after law after law after law while you still control the three branches of government, or sit on your best intentions, wait until Democrats retake the Senate, because eventually they will, because people will get upset about this, and watch as the Democrats nuke the filibuster and pass law after law after law. I love that he's calling people out on this. We have got to get this together. They should be, in this new year, I think one of the first things they need to do is go after that filibuster, Allie.
I think so too. I mean, don't... There's so much on both sides of this. Some people are like, no, don't get rid of the filibuster because, you know, when the Democrats get in, they're going to do it. They're not, you know, they'll do it or whatever. But it's the same argument for both sides. So we have a problem within the Senate. It is the Senate, and it seems to be the Senate in almost every freaking state.
Yeah.
I don't know what the issue is with senators, but can y'all please get it together? Because we still have 224, I think, executive orders that have not been codified. We still have nominees that still have not been confirmed. So what exactly are y'all doing? Not only that, but we have bills that have passed the House, have been sitting for months, 8 to 10 months. They've been past the House. Why has the Senate not picked them up? Senate President John Thune, why have you not picked them up and brought them to a vote? Oh, because we need 60 votes to pass things. Okay, no, you need 60 votes for cloture in order for you to continue, right? If you can't get it, why are you not trying to nuke the filibuster?
Yeah.
And if that's not an option, where else are you putting your efforts? Are you trying to get more senators or new senators to take the others' place, the ones that are digging their heels into the ground and not moving the needle?
Well, Allie, and let's be clear, the Democrats have already come out and said, they told us, they are so prideful in what they want to do to demolish what we call our constitutional liberties and the foundation of our country, because they believe it's evil. They have come out and said what they would like to see with the Supreme Court. They wanted to stack the Supreme Court. Remember that? They've come out and said what they want to see happen with giving illegals the right to vote. And you saw that take place in our a Wednesday show when we showed you in Minnesota what's taking place by giving driver's licenses and IDs to all, and then turn around and not checking their citizenship when they go to vote. It's happening. So they're already telling us that they would do these things. Do you, in good conscience, people, honestly believe that they're not going to, once they're in office, want to get rid of this filibuster? So when people say, well, if we do it, then when the Democrats get in office, they'll use it. If we don't do it, they're going to get in office and do it. And they're going to have 4 years to run ramshod with that. And this is something that,
especially if we're not putting our efforts in trying to win 2026.
Well, take a look at this. This is another one. And I know we have a call to action out about the SAVE Act. Mike Lee, who's a representative, he said Congress needs to, should Republicans, he just did a poll, should Republicans in Congress force passage of the SAVE Act, ensuring that non-citizens won't be able to vote in federal elections? 97% of people, you said yes. This was, of course, back before the shutdown. I don't think anything has changed. This was back in July of 2024. We were talking about it then. He was talking about it then. A lot of people have talked about it since then. Nothing has been done yet. The SAVE Act, guys, we talk about wanting to get the vote out in 2026. Explain to me what good that does if we don't have only U.S. citizens voting. This is important. When you come to Allie and I and want to push forward calls to actions as elected senators, when you come to us and want us to give you help in getting a message out, our response to you is give us what we're asking for, the SAVE Act, the Smith Mundt Act. Give us these things back, because just like anything else, Allie, you have to have a record to run on. And I'm going to say it. I'm hearing.
They run on best intentions.
I'm hearing from many people, whether I agree with them or not, I'm hearing from people that if things don't change, part of what they're afraid of is that if this lack of doing anything is going to cause good America First people to kind of draw back and recoil. Remember, America First people are largely your independents, the ones that don't like either party. They see crap on both sides of the aisle, and they got involved because of this promise. And I believe we're going to see that happen. But Allie, sitting here today on January 2nd, it's frustrating.
And then Okay, yes, to your point, yes, I do think that if certain things are not passed before the midterms, before even the primary midterms in 2026, you're going to see largely a lot of folks not participate. And that's a problem.
That's a huge
and
problem.
The issue that I'm having is that it's not going to be just the ones that have been on the train since 2016, since 2020. It's going to be the new ones that have just decided to vote for President Trump in this administration in 2024. So if we're not actively trying to push forward all of these things that everybody that's currently elected ran on, the coattails of President Trump, who has been the most amazing president we've ever had, then we're going to see a huge dip in participation in the midterms. Now, the other side to that is these calls to action are very important. You have to take responsibility in your own governance. The other issue I have with that is if you can show up, and I'll say this, if you can show up to a Trump rally anywhere in the country, or you have traveled outside of your state to go to another state to follow a Trump rally, you can pick up your phone and call Speaker, and you call Speaker Johnson, and you can call Senate President John Thune and get him politely to pass or bring the SAVE Act to a vote. Why is it still sitting there? It's passed the House since April. So it's been sitting for 9 months. Why? We also have people that are thinking about not participating in votes because of salacious news that can't be proven.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to step out because morally your compass is wrong. Okay, but what have they done since they've been in office that actually touches you at your kitchen table? What they do in their bedroom doesn't touch you at your kitchen table.
Well,
it doesn't affect the gas prices when you go put gas in your car.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still of the mindset that, you know what, it's okay to want morality from people that you elect, but guys, that's not the end all be all, because honestly, we all fall short. What I'm more interested in and what Allie's saying is how you vote and how you're voting. The original Smith Mundt Act, and I know you've heard the open mic ladies talk about this a lot, guys. It was designed in 1948 to ban propaganda being used against you and I. And this is off the heels of, think about what was going on in the 40s with the rise of Hitler and what we had just come off the heels of. We just came off the heels of liberating the end of World War II. And people were like, wow, how did people just march lockstep behind Hitler when he was propagating all this stuff? Because we realized we didn't want to see that infiltrate our country. So that's why we laid this down. Now, it's important, guys, that Smith Mundt Act forbid the organizations where you get news to not be able to lie to you from media. Okay. Media needs to be held accountable because they have propagated many lies. But why was this allowed? Because in 2012, Barack Obama, then President Obama, hid in the National Defense Act for the fiscal year of 2013, he buried the repeal of the Smith Mundt Modernization Act. Now, I'm not going to say anything bad about Barack Obama, who was a senator from my home state. I'm going to let him tell you how he really feels. Take a listen, Barack's own words.
You just have to flood a country's public square with enough raw sewage. You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt, plant enough conspiracy theorizing that citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth, the game's won.
That's super eerie.
Now, what he was talking about, in putting it in context, he is talking about why they need to run in that day. They didn't call it disinformation, but they needed to get their hands on free speech and disinformation because this could be, in other words, he's saying this could be the Republicans doing that. But what he's marching out there are the orders of exactly how you sow distrust. So there's two things that are required, Mr. Obama, in order to sow distrust. Number one is that you no longer penalize people for not having ethics in their reporting and in their journalism.
Right.
That's the first way. The second way that you sow distrust is you come out and have an onslaught against the American people. Think about 2019. Think about where you were in 2019. Since 2019, you have had to deal with whether or not you want to inject a foreign substance into your body or lose your job, whether or not you wanted to cover your face, much like Middle Eastern countries, or lose your job. You had to decide whether or not you wanted your children to know which bathroom they use biologically or potentially be banned. I mean, in a lot, and really looked
Or
at
socially transitioned without your knowledge.
without your knowledge. You've had to think about
Or given an abortion without your knowledge.
You've had to think about where does life begin? And if you say it begins at conception, you're now going to be, put on a checklist. You've had to fight the intelligence community all throughout the Biden era when you knew something was wrong. You voted in 2016. You had them come out and try to run, and largely did run a coup against Trump and his transition team, thus paralyzing the very person that you voted for in 2016. Yep. In 2020, you still had the cojones to come out and vote for him again, only to realize in the middle of the night, they stole that election too. I'm talking about Fulton County, Georgia, where they said Biden won by 11,000 votes. They're now finding that 350,000 of those were fraudulent. Then you had the courage to come out again in 2024 and vote, and you gave them 3 branches of government plus the Supreme Court. And now, now you're begging with your own Republicans to frickin' do something. You guys have just been through a marathon of propaganda.
And my word of the year is bamboozled. We have been bamboozled.
It's like the real life. What's that Robin Williams movie where they're playing a board game?
Jumanji.
It's Jumanji.
Look, we've been trying to tell y'all, don't do any resolutions on New Year's. We don't say Happy New Year. Everybody screams Jumanji to end this BS because this is just crazy. We have been bamboozled. We've been bamboozled by Republicans who have run on the coattails of President Trump, who said, we're going to make America great again. And they stood up there on that podium and didn't believe the words that were coming out of their mouth. You know how we know that? Because we're still sitting on 224 executive orders that have not been codified into law. We're still sitting on 100 plus people that have not been confirmed nominees by Republicans. We have the Smith Mundt Act that literally can get rid of all of the propaganda we're currently seeing in our news media, and nobody's doing it. No one's doing it.
Well, and guys,
they pretend like they're sitting on their hands. Oh, our hands are tied. They're tied, you guys. It's all the red tape. They're tied. They're not tied. You're sitting on them. Stand up.
This is the reason why we are calling balls and strikes on both sides of the aisle, not to try to throw Republicans and conservatives and America First people under the bus.
Nope, you're being thrown in front of the bullet train.
Yes, but here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. What do we know? What do we know about people that are elected to office? They care about their next election. That is the only tool that you have to try to move this train in the right direction. Trump can't do it all by himself. No. He is the tourniquet. He's not the answer. Yeah. So you have to get out there and make sure you're making these calls to your elected representatives, House, Senate, state, House, Senate, governors. You have to, school board members. And you have to remember, guys, this is why it's so important that you elect people to office that aren't afraid to use their words and to use their mouth. When they don't give us the Smith Mundt Modernization Act because of what Barack Obama did in 2012, guess what? Now we have to rely on our elected representatives to really digest the bills that they're passing and spit it back out to us so that we can understand what's going on. This is why you have somebody like J.D. Vance saying what he came out and said on Jesse Waters. Take a listen. Talking about my bad. I just realized it's not sharing. Y'all are like,
what?
What? I'd love to hear it, Michelle.
Let me hear it.
What the heck is it?
I'm like, what is going on?
He's talking about Charlie Kirk's assassin and just the myriad of things that they're coming out talking about.
The media is now saying the assassin may have been MAGA. Why would they lie?
Well, they would lie because they can't do that simple, basic thing of looking themselves in the mirror. They can't admit that their radicalism and their craziness helped to cause this problem. Look, this is not in dispute. You talk to the shooter's mother, you talk to the shooter's father, you talk to the local district attorney, you talk to the FBI director or the deputy director of the FBI. You look at every ounce of evidence that we have, and it is clear. This is a person who grew up in a pretty normal family, actually had a pretty good home life, who was radicalized by the far left, by the social networks of the far left, by the ideas of the far left, and got so far down the path of radicalization that he killed my friend. That is not a both sides problem. My friend is dead because of left-wing political radicalization. And if you want to cut that out, then be honest about it and look yourself in the mirror.
Okay. So there you have the vice president of the United States, regardless of what you feel about Charlie Kirk.
I want to know
questioning.
How many people that are over the age of 50 just clutch their pearls because he said the S word.
Was it the S word?
And didn't listen to not a thing he said, but heard the word shit and was like, he's an elected representative. He's our vice president. He should not be cursing.
It's getting thick in here. Put your feet up, because that's exactly what it is. It is that swampiness running amok. But this is the thing. Elected representatives from president all the way down have largely not looked and sounded like J.D. Vance or Donald Trump. They've sounded
to a different era.
They've sounded more like Barack Obama and Mandami, very polished, right? Very extremely polished, full of crap, but very, very polished. Right. And so, if you've ever bought a lemon as a car, you can doctor something up at the outside and you can really make it look good and it looks like a good deal. And then you drive it home for about 30 days and you have like buyer's remorse. This is part of what we have to make sure we're electing in 2026, from your school board to county commission, city commission, all the way up, right? All the way to who we send in Congress. They better be able to speak to you and disseminate propaganda, because until we get that Smith Mundt Modernization Act put back into place, largely we are at the mercy of us reading our legislation, of us knowing our history, tuning into platforms like Open Mic that aren't afraid to talk about it, and also looking to people like what Matt Gaetz did when he was elected, being able to talk to people about what you're seeing come across policy-wise so that the American people can make really sound choices.
I also think a lot of times some of the representatives don't want to push something forward like this because we do have independent media. And I think that independent media is taking over legacy media. Yes, that is true. However, when people get access and they become famous or publicly recognized, a lot of times their vision is skewed and their mission no longer becomes about truth. It becomes about power, access, and what they can push out for clicks and views. And that is part of the problem. We need to make sure that there is accountability for our media arms, because I don't ever remember that there was a time where you could turn on the news and listen to a breakdown of legislation, whether it be locally or federally, and how it affects you at your kitchen table. I've never heard of that. That's why we do what we do, right? Because I think we're one of the only places that actually does that. We break down legislation and we hand it to you. Yeah. What are your choices about this? This is how we feel about it.
But Allie, here's how amazing that is. I want you to understand, and I'm not in the new year trying to, you know what? I'm going to pull a Trump and I am going to toot my own horn. This is why it's so important. Two moms who saw something going really strange, whether it be in Maha with what they're putting in your children's food or what they're injecting in your children's arms, to what was going on in local schools, through COVID, through everything, through telling your children they don't know which bathroom to use. We saw something, we got involved. I jokingly say with some of my friends that when I read legislation, I have to go and open another page.
Yeah, because it's legalese.
What does this mean? What does this mean? What are because it's not.
It's how you do research.
It is how you do research. And we shouldn't be ashamed to say that's how, there's studying that goes on behind this. And but to be able to bring it to you the way we do, and then to have elected representatives reach out. I just was at a recent delegation meeting a few months ago, and 3 of the 4 people up on the dais said, we want to meet with you and talk about what's going through legislation right now. What do we need to know? That is the key. And then the other key is, are you going to act on it? I've given you the information. Are you going to act on it? Which is really tough in a far off land like DC, where we're not there all the time. But Allie,
your phone calls matter. Your text messages matter. Your email fax matters. It matters.
Thank you, Mr.
It
Massey.
matters.
He says the passion you two have for journalism is inspiring and awesome. Thank you so much. Well, Allie and I always use that J word, like, I'm not a journalist. But that's like, it's like the digital soldiers. I don't want to be a journalist.
It's definitely not what I had.
I don't know anybody who was like, I want to be a journalist. Like, I want a country that I can be proud of again. And I want to hand that off to my daughter and to, and I want to think about everybody who fought and bled and died in uniform so that we can do this. And here's the thing. The Smith Mundt Modernization Act is not something that violates the First Amendment, because in 1948, we understood the need to be able, it's not the thought police. It's not the word police. Propaganda.
Yeah.
That is something that is known to be false, that you're allowed to say over and over and over until you change the minds of those listening to you.
Russiagate and COVID.
Yes.
And these shooters that keep popping up out of nowhere with hundreds of thousands of dollars in their bank account, and everyone's like, we don't know where that came from.
Some of it came from student loans. Remember that story? And here's the other thing. If we could take now and I know we're at our time, but this is what's wonderful about Open Mic Ladies Unplugged. We are not on a time frame. We've got a few more minutes left that we want to continue with some things. This is why the Smith Mundt Modernization Act is also so important, because it gave our government the ability to prosecute when somebody was reporting on something known to be false. So take COVID, for example. Let's say that the comrades over at CNN wanted to still push, the winter death and the little ticker at the bottom of how many people are being killed by COVID, whatever. Let's say they did all that. And they pushed the injection and they pushed masking because it works. Let's say they did all that, okay? And then Open Mic Ladies,
6 feet social distancing.
Mic,
the virus doesn't get you if you stand up with your mask on, but sit down and take it off while you eat and drink water.
And if you're playing the flute and you cut a slit in your mask, it's still effective. Let's say that's what CNN was reporting, and then you had Open Mic Ladies over here that were like, something stinks. And all I'm going to say is,
or when you're standing in front of a police station that's on fire, they're like, this is a mostly peaceful protest.
Or when they tell you it's an airborne virus, but they want you to basically lick and eat hand sanitizer, like that.
Wash your hands.
Make it explain.
So
you have those two dichotomies being reported, right? You decide. But let's say fast forward 3 years later, and they realized there were internal documents within Fauci, within NIH,
they knew all
within Wuhan, China, that tie directly to research, gain of function research. This didn't come from a wet market somewhere in Wuhan, China. This came, and it didn't just magically jump to humans like nothing ever has done ever.
Right.
So that it's basically a coronavirus, which 10 years ago, you could see on the back of a bottle of Lysol. It wasn't this new thing. It was a strengthened thing. Now that we know that would give the government the chance to say, you know what, CNN, you were propagating a lie. And your close ties that you had to intelligence communities, to the establishment, to Fauci himself, he was on their shows like daily, along with that Birx chick. They knew. Do you know what I mean? They knew. And if they didn't do their due diligence to find out before they reported it as fact, before they really knew, that's on them. And we could actually prosecute.
You know what it reminds me of?
Yes, ma'am.
It's going to dissuade people from wanting to be elected, to run for office if we end insider stock trading. It's going to dissuade people from becoming journalists if we can prosecute them for lying.
You know what? If you're going into office and you want to be more wealthy, here's what I'm going to tell you based off of what our founding fathers did. There are other ways to become more wealthy. Obviously, I think of Senator Rick Scott, who like him, love him, whatever you think of him, has gone on in the private sector to make money. You think of Donald Trump, has gone on in the private sector to make money. Definitely live the American dream. Don't screw over the American people in the process, but live the American dream. But when you make that decision to run for office, that is not supposed to line your pockets.
No.
What you do in the private sector, as long as you're not trading on it, wonderful. Keep having all of your side businesses and your side hustles, but you should not go in to public office being valued at $200,000 and come out, sorry, MTG, being worth $25 million. Where the hell did that come from? I'm all for the American dream, but not off the backs of the American people. Am I yelling?
No, you're right.
Okay.
Okay. She woke up gangbanging on bacon this morning.
It wasn't Smithfield bacon.
Thank goodness.
But it was bacon. All right, guys. We've made many trips to DC, and we would love to go again and again and again. But Allie, what is in the water in DC?
It's not. It's freedom. Freedom is sexy, y'all. Freedom is sexy. Leadership is sexy.
Manhood is sexy.
You got Stephen Miller and his wife about to have a baby. You have Caroline Levitt about to have a baby. You have Pete Hegseth about to have two babies. And then we have our own friends that are getting engaged. And I'm just like,
listen, we have our own friends and family that are having babies.
It's going to be an amazing year. 2026 going to be so many blessings. Freedom is sexy, y'all. I can't.
But you know what else is sexy? Being single and owning your stuff is okay too.
Stand in your value.
Stand in your value.
That's cute. I love it. Congratulations.
Congratulations. That is going to be one red, white, and blue baby. That's amazing. Is it a shock to you? I have to know. I wonder, people that give birth to twins, they know that twins run in their family. And so I wonder, when I heard Pete Hegseth's wife was pregnant with twins, I was like, they already have 4?
I think they definitely have more than that.
This is what they mean when they say, red-blooded patriot Americans, get out there and have some babies. I'm good.
Look, everybody looks at me and they're like, really? I want more. The right person?
Listen, I almost said something and then I realized my mom watches this show and I probably shouldn't.
Oh, Lord.
All we're going to say is that patriotic,
I love it,
freedom-loving,
family,
masculine men,
you have to pass it on,
are where it's at. That's where it's at.
For sure.
Absolutely. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Did you see that during the, I can't remember what news station it was that was airing the ball drop in New York. She's asked a question. Where's the most likely place you can find a good man or a man in 2026? And she said, well, I guess it's the ladies' restroom.
I saw that.
And so everyone's like, oh, she just killed her career. Maybe it was CNN. I don't know.
Maybe it was CNN. Hey, there we are.
No, look at that. Not Elon Musk. Tim Burchett is actually made a statement about the insider trading. He's like, I can't even properly sell these skateboards that I make on my off time without getting lawyers involved. And we got representatives that are banking with insider trading. It is wild. And then they're constantly being bullied and told to shut up and don't say anything. They're being stonewalled by their own colleagues not to pass this. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Guys, also don't forget to go to libertycigars.com and use promo code OpenMic for Liberty Cigars. They're amazing.
Yes, they're amazing. They're amazing.
We have some changes coming up for the new year. So
we do. Yeah. And they do. Yes. Guys, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe like and share all of our content. You do. And make sure you click that notification bell because you want to make sure that you get notified when Open Mic Ladies go live. Plus, you want to make sure you follow us at Real Allie Leger, at Michelle Posey, and at Open Mic Ladies. You see it there at the bottom of the screen on all social media platforms because we tend to drop things during the weekend when they arise, and we'd love to be able to keep in touch with you guys, but make sure that you're spreading the word. Tune into Open Mic Ladies. I've gotten a lot of feedback on this way of doing it.
Do y'all like the way that we do this?
It's crazy hectic for me, but it also kind of feeds into my controlling thing that I'm working on.
I love how honest you are with our audience.
Listen, they already know.
And guys, if there's anything that you think that we should cover on Open Mic, let us know.
Let us know.
I'm
what do you think about running the show a little bit like this with a unplugged? I don't know. We'll see.
Open Mic unplugged.
Open Mic unplugged.
You gotta have the mic on though.
I gotta have the mic on. Well, guys, thank you so much. We want to thank our Patriot TV family who are taking the day off to rest. We are going to go do much the same, maybe over the weekend, and we'll see. But we will see you back Monday morning at 10 a.m. Make sure you tune in. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I hope you guys are out there living your best life. It's 2026. Buckle up.
I think we should do Mimosa Monday. I think
Can we do
the
that?
first Monday
Can we do that?
of the year, we need to do Mimosa Monday.
Will you come in?
Open mic ladies.
Will you come in? I'll bring the granite, the
Okay.
stuff. The granite.
What, y'all think we should do Mimosa Monday?
Mimosa Monday? Will
Y'all
you do it
wanna
with
see
us?
Mimosa Monday?
Can
Yeah.
we drink on the
Maybe.
job?
It's our business. We make the rules.
I just said we could.
I don't understand. Who are you asking?
I was
The good angel or the one that's not so good? Which one? Because they're both
It's
probably
just-
like
But listen, it's just
Listen.
vitamin C, really, and we're just trying to get our good dose of
and
vitamin
fermented
C.
grapes.
And I
That's all.
know that the
It's
people
vitamin C and fermented grapes.
they're not buying it. They are not buying it. But I bet you'll have one, wouldn't you? Okay, so maybe we'll do Mimosa Monday, kicking off the new
Why
year.
not? Why not? I think it would be cool. It'd be fun.
Guys,
I
make
see
su-
no comments though, by the way. So
Make sure
I
you
don't know.
reach out to us at Open Mic Ladies contact at Open Mic Ladies. Also visit openmicladies.com. We will talk to you guys on Monday. We hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed new year. God bless you.
Bye.